in our viewers that the beauty is actually, it was in object or in the beholder?
Both things. Both things.
Because we are discussing about the beauty.
Yes.
That
You see, it's like this. A snake, if you see in real life, you may not like it. Okay. But if you are studying snakes, you have to handle them. And you kill them, but you still like, because you are looking something, gaining something from them.
So,
but then more importantly, it depends. Right now, for example, I look at these things because they are not coming to bite me. I'm just looking at the pattern, why these patterns have, why each snake has developed a different pattern, what's the basis.
that is the
And that's the beauty
topic
to appreciate. Yes.
So this is shell or beautiful shell? This is conch or beautiful conch?
Well, it depends on how you like it, how you look at it.
So
Somebody may not like conches at all because they have a spiny, or they may be some color or something. For somebody they are items of worship.
So we can say beauty is subjective, objective.
Beauty.
At times it is objective, at times it is subjective.
It's very difficult to define beauty that way. It is subjective. One has to like it.
But when you elucidate on this point or describe this point, that you start with beauty, what attracts you in biology?
But partly because you see, by our normal upbringing, we like colorful things, we like symmetrical things,
bright things.
We like bright things, and therefore we say that's beauty. Say, if I take human societies, in different societies of humans, there are different parameters for beauty. For example, in some of the tribes in Africa, there are like big protruding lips. We will call
music, classical music from South
same
Africa.
thing, yes. So it depends on what has been our upbringing. Beauty, and that's where it becomes subjective. That because since childhood we have been exposed to something, and therefore our brain begins to interpret them in that way.
But here all images are beautiful.
To my mind.
Without any doubt.
To my mind, yes. But that's what I want to impress upon them, that look at these things from beauty's perspective as well, aesthetic aspects as well. Because then you begin to question why they are, how they are. And the important point to me that comes in is, they don't need to be created. They develop on their own because of the genetic program that they inherit and because of the environment in which they develop. That's what appeals in biology. The point to understand is, all the properties of living thing that we see are properties of individual molecules, individual chemicals that constitute their body. It's their interaction which is dependent upon their physical and chemical properties. And if they are in a certain way, we call it organized and we call it living. So it's a simple case. I am alive now. A second later I am dead. What is different? What's the difference between me? Chemically, physically, I am still, everything is same. But what is lost between life and death is that organization. Self-sustaining organization. My internal tissues, many of them are still alive. Even after half an hour, 1 hour, my eyes can be transplanted and they will give vision to someone else. I can't see anymore. Why? Because the signals that are going from the eyes, brain is now no more able to interpret them in an organized manner. Heart may still be functional. That's how we have heart transplant after death. Kidneys may still be functional individually, but that organization that makes a living system, an individual, that interconnecting organization is lost. And that's what life is.
I understand the nature of chromosomes, but I cannot appreciate the beauty of sunset.
Well,
for example, one can understand the entire nature of chromosome or the pattern and may not appreciate the beauty of the sunrise or the glimpses on the water.
Yes. Well, that's because they have not been brought up to appreciate that kind of thing. Or Maybe their lifestyle is such that they have never seen a sunrise. And therefore they don't know what beauty they are missing.
Because here lies the element of beauty.
Yes, and that's why beauty is an individual's perception. And that perception depends on the upbringing, the experiences, and the analysis that goes in brain. Like I was saying some time ago, that somebody may not like music of a certain kind at all. But then, even at the age of 60 or 70, by continuously listening and trying to appreciate it, one can become fan of that kind of music, which for 60 years I didn't like. But then, with conscious effort, I began to like it.
Then again, the component of understanding.
Yes, understanding and the brain's connections. That the different cells will develop a new connection, and that will give us a chemical reaction that we say, okay, it's pleasurable, it's enjoyable. To be enjoying, to be happy, to be sad, it's all chemical, physical reactions.
So each meaning, the meaning of each term, the technical term, is defined among all scientists. It is equal in physics or genetics.
There again, it's a question of interpretation. Just as beauty can be interpreted differently.
Like movement or motion.
Yes, certain common things are defined.
Like chromosomes.
Yes.
DNA.
Yeah, but again, it depends on DNA of one species versus another species. DNA is DNA, but then the information that is carried there.
But the meaning of the verbal meaning of DNA
as chemically, physically defined.
Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, what you showed us, the cells and everything, it is beautiful for all the students of genetics.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not only genetics. It can be beautiful to somebody who doesn't know biology at all. They also like it.
But the rose is beautiful to all of us.
Well, if a thorn hurts me, roses I don't say so anymore beautiful. So it depends, context dependent. And so is, to appreciate beauty of nature or living system, one doesn't need to always understand what underlies it. Sometimes we say, okay, if I know that's all DNA, my beauty sense of beauty is gone, then I don't. So one has to look at different levels.
That means beauty is directly related to feelings and emotions.
Yes.
Because if the thorn is there, so you may not like the rose because feeling, emotion is there.
So somebody likes the fragrance of rose only. Rose doesn't look beautiful to look at. Many roses are, they don't look nice. But then the fragrance is better. So one
that was my question. This variety depends on enzyme or depends on the beauty itself?
Beauty is very relative. What your perceptions, what your training, what your upbringing makes your brain look at certain things, look at certain senses, receive certain senses, and then the way it responds is what we call it beauty or ugly or anger generating or sadness generating. That's the brain's response to it. The way signals reach it and what response they elicit.
So we can make a sentence like beauty is the offspring of a gene?
Not gene. It's not directly gene that, okay, I have a gene for beauty and I have somebody a gene for, no. Genes are only determining the way brain will develop. But the connection that happen within the brain, they depend upon our experiences. They depend upon our perceptions, training. Genes don't determine that, okay, this brain cell will connect only with this brain cell. These are very labile, very dynamic. And that's why we can do so many things, because brain has billions of nerve cells. Each nerve cell can have, on an average, 1,000 connections. But these connections are not fixed. They're continuous flux. And that's why we can do enormous parallel processing without our knowing it. And this is something that we still don't understand, how this happens, how it still maintains order out of this chaos. It may look like a chaos that you have billion cells and each one randomly connecting with this or that, but it's out of that chaos that order originates, and brain knows how to do that. Biological systems know how to do that.